The grass is green, the sky is blue. Great day to be alive and a great day for high school soccer. It's what we have for you here on ETV. It is the section playoffs here, the Minnesota State High School League Section 3-3A section playoffs to be precise. And a matchup here in the semifinals between the visitors from Apple Valley High School, the Apple Valley Eagles, and your Eagan Wildcats. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nathan Cron. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Skip Newton, and an award-winning ETV crew will meet shortly. But, Skip, the Wildcats took care of business against fair to say, an overmatched Burnsville team on Tuesday. They find themselves in the semifinal here against the 5-seed Apple Valley Eagles. Two teams met earlier this year with a relatively one-sided score in favor of the Wildcats, but the playoffs is a different animal.
That it is, Nathan. The one thing that we've seen so often in sports, especially in soccer, is it's one thing to dominate, control the game, to dominate scoring opportunities, but it can be an entirely different thing to dominate goals and the scoreboard. And what the Wildcats need to make sure here today is they don't just control the game and give themselves more chances, but they have to finish those chances. They have to put at least, a crooked number up on the board, 2-3 goals, ideally right away if they can, get out to a big lead, and then they have to hold firm defensively.
Well, defensively, the Wildcats have had a very good record this season. There have not been very many games where they've conceded more than 3 goals. On the other hand, the Apple Valley Eagles, a little bit challenged offensively. Since September 1st, 12 games, in 12 games not including their game against Burnsville, in 12 games they've scored a total of 12 goals. So not a lot of fireworks there in the white and brown.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something that Eagan wants to continue. If they can hold Apple Valley to 1 or 0 goals, obviously they have an excellent chance of winning the game. But again, if they can finish their scoring opportunities, then they're going to be in great shape.
We'll set your lineup here for the Wildcats in just a moment as soon as we get an opportunity. As Vonderhaar pressures the Wildcat back line, now Jolstrom. Jolstrom looks for Kron on the overlap. Kron looking for Weisendonner. And we'll set your lineup now. So you've got Cassie Turner and Isabella Fall at your center back positions. Anna Enning and Kate Kron at your outside back. Kron with a big throw in there. Looking for Weisendonner. Weisendonner lost her balance. Unlucky there, but Kate Kron will have another chance. Jolstrom and Waldrop are your holding midfielders, with Mal Jensen serving as your center attacking forward, with Seehafer, Leitenberg, and Weisendonner your forwards. Big throw over the top. Sent back out for the Eagles. And that's DeRozier's big ball down, finding Turner's left foot. She finds Fall, and the Wildcats will reset. Seehafer up the right side, has a step towards the penalty area. It's played out that time by the Eagles. Eagles line up Abbas, Cha, Corey, DeRozier, Lamberton, McGregor, Moran, Segura, Espinoza, Teese, Vonderhaar, Voldwinkel. Ball into the penalty area.
Great cross there by the Wildcats. Unfortunately, nobody there to receive that. Anna Enning with a great move down near the goal line, and then she crossed it up away from the goalkeeper, exactly where she wanted to go. Unfortunately, the Wildcats just couldn't get in position to put a shot on.
Difference you will see in this game, the Eagan Wildcat Stadium copiously supplied with ball kids tonight, so we shouldn't see too many long vacations waiting for balls to come back into play. Jensen, Seehafer, she's got an opportunity. She could get this in her left foot. Good rally defense that time by the Eagles, and it is cleared. Skippy, in the pregame you mentioned, needing the Wildcat girls needing to keep their shots down. We've seen an inordinate number of shots from the Wildcats go high and wide or high up over the net. From your perspective, talk a little bit about what it takes to make sure that those shots are on net.
Well, they really need to get themselves in a good body position to approach the shot and make sure that they're not too far behind the ball. They want that plant foot up next to the ball and get their body forward so they get a good strike with the laces, but they don't get underneath it. When you get underneath it, that's when things tend to go skyward and you hit a lot of field goals.
Big offensive engines for the Wildcats this year have been Seehafer and Leitenberg on the outside. Opening handful of minutes in this game seem to demonstrate that certainly to the Wildcats' benefit, that they want to take advantage of their speed to the outside. Ricker's throw goes over Enning, pushed forward by Turner. Vonderhaar, and Kron cleans that up and earns the throw. Defender all over Weisendonner, but to her credit, sticks with it. Oh, nice play through by Jolstrom that time. Oh, big touch from Waldrop, let her down, but it was a nice through ball or almost a dummy from Jolstrom there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, no doubt some great communication there, too. As I'm sure Waldrop let her know that she was open behind her, setting up a potential chance.
There's Leitenberg across. Seehafer can't get a foot to it. Now she takes it, gets it on her right foot. She had Jensen screaming for the ball, but that ball comes all the way back into the Wildcat half of the field. Opportunity, early opportunity there for the Wildcats is uncashed.
Yeah, Seehafer got caught facing the wrong direction, could not get turned around. She had a couple of Wildcats trying to get in a position to take a shot, but she couldn't deliver that pass.
Leitenberg with a run to the outside. She's going to maintain that. Big touch. She keeps it in. Almost finds Weisendonner. Waldrop steps forward, and that one's going to find its way out and over for a goal kick.
Leitenberg was actually offside there. It would have been beneficial for her to run over and play that ball and at least make him kick it deep from the corner.
That would definitely be 3D chess, Skip Newton. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking that as I was watching the game.
And if I were Ava Leitenberg, it wouldn't have crossed my mind on the field either.
Like the Wildcats, Eagles running with 4 at the back. And these Apple Valley Eagles have had some success this season. Total record as of today, 7-7-3. About as 500, so to speak, as you can get. Battle there by Jolstrom. She needs to pick out a runner. She does, but it manages to find Corey's feet. Your 500 team literally are a coin toss. Eagles are hoping that they'll come up heads today. Jolstrom tries to go through Corey. Weisendonner, a little contact from behind. It's pushed over the top. Waldrop from distance. I think that is going to have a lot of spin on it. Is it going to make it out? It was an alert play that time by DeRozier to put that out for a throw-in rather than a corner kick.
I like how Waldrop, her instinct was to take that shot. Unfortunately, it was blocked. She had someone in front of her, but Wildcats need to look to shoot the ball whenever they get the opportunity.
Wildcats so far not in great position in terms of being able to take the shot. A couple of times the ball has landed for them and it hasn't landed in a place where the player can square her hips around to it and actually take a shot. She's ending on the run. Sends it over the top. Weisendonner is going to have an opportunity here. Old Michael puts it into touch, so Seehafer will restart. Seehafer looking for Leitenberg. Comes off the Eagles. Interesting clearance decision there to put that in the middle of the park. Waldrop, her left foot goes to goal. First shot of the game for the Wildcats.
Not sure if the viewers can see this, but there is a little bit of drizzle / rain that started maybe a half an hour before the game started. The field may be a little bit wet in places, so a shot like Kira Waldrop's left foot there that bounces in front of the goalkeeper could be a little bit more tricky than usual. As the field gets wetter, the ball will tend to skip like a flat rock across water. So something to keep in mind, they have to keep their bodies in front of those balls or it might skip right through them.
Seehafer hoofs that forward, finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner sprays it across. Waldrop's going to have another chance. She has Leitenberg, finds her. Leitenberg right back to Waldrop. Waldrop on her preferred right foot, goes to goal, and that's going to be a corner kick.
Number 23.
Oh, good strike by Waldrop. She squared up to that, and keeper had to make a great, Vonderhaar had to make a great save.
Just some great passing there by the Wildcats, and it started over on the near touch all the way across to Waldrop, and then the give and go on the far side set her up beautifully right in the middle of the field, which is exactly where you want to be taking those shots. She puts that thing a couple of feet to the right or left, and that's a goal.
Jensen over it, and in it comes. Inning gets ahead to it. Cron tries to knock that down. Is dispossessed. Turner finds Fall. Fall under pressure,
Number 23.
but runs through it. Nicely done by Isabella Fall. She had to get that right. To say on those corners, Skip Newton, the Wildcats this season, they've had a few goals off first touches, but it's been those second touches, the second ball, where they've really had a lot of success. I'd like to see more of that in this game.
Yeah, the first goal of the game against Burnsville was scored, I believe, off a corner kick. Perfectly placed right under the head of Kira Waldrop, and she smashed it home for an early 1-0 lead. Wouldn't mind seeing more of that as well here. I assume that that will not be the only corner that the Wildcats earn here this evening.
I think that's probably a fairly safe assumption, although I have to admit my prognostication skills after Tuesday may be under a bit of scrutiny. Oh, that's brilliant from Weisendonner. She finds Leitenberg, who finds Seehafer, who finds the back of the goal. Josie Seehafer cashes in for the Wildcats, and it's an early 1-0 lead.
Seehafer was struggling to finish on Tuesday. Fortunately, a game where her scoring skills were not required as Eagan coasted to an 8-0 victory. Here, she capitalizes on the first opportunity she gets, and she proves the theory that when you're in that close, you don't need to hit it hard. You just need to get any body part on it and redirect it to goal. That's exactly what she was able to accomplish. Just a fantastic play there by the Wildcats.
Seehafer scores from Leitenberg. If there was a second assist, if this was hockey, it would be Weisendonner's, as Weisendonner had a beautiful little pass with her left foot to set Leitenberg afloat. And here's Weisendonner again. Oh, and the assistant referee has a better look than we do, but unfortunate for Kylie Weisendonner, she had done everything she could to get past the defender.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the assistant referee called that, if number 20, Leslie Segura Espinoza, made that decision.
In any event we play on, Seehafer tries to go around one defender, can't, and DeRozier's going to earn the foul.
Number 18, Josie
Seehafer doesn't need to commit the foul there. All she needs to do is not let her turn. Josie Seehafer, as we've seen this year,
26 seconds.
Very, very aggressive competitor.
Goal scored by Josie Seehafer. The assist, Ava Leitenberg.
The Wildcats are off to a 1-0 lead here in the 11th minute. Seehafer from Leitenberg. Vonderhaar is actually playing for the Eagles, is actually playing forward. There was a bit of a mix-up. I ask your forgiveness, Eagles fans, but the roster we were given has got some numbers that have been transposed and switched around. So it's actually Michaela Moran playing goalie. Good step there by Jolstrom, but even a better move that time by DeRozier. DeRozier sends that towards Valaga. Of course, Natalie Valaga, who's played most of the season for these Wildcats, was idle on Tuesday as Caitlin Allred stood between the pipes for the Wildcats. Valaga back on the field now. It's her first touch of the game. Weisendonner looking to go across, trying to switch the field. Interesting, given that she had 20 yards of green space right behind her.
And unfortunately, the pass went to Waldrop, who was well covered. She really didn't have a whole lot of options there.
Shaw and Cron battling in the corner. Goes out for an Eagles throw. Talked about the offensive struggles that the Eagles have had this season, as now there will be a couple of substitutions for the Eagles. With their offensive struggles this season, allowing an early goal by the Wildcats certainly isn't going to help their game script.
Number 12, checking in now for the Eagles, Delina Tazazu, number 21.
Shot on Valaga. Good save there by Valaga.
And not only a nice job of getting her body in front of it, but controlling that with her hands, not allowing a rebound whatsoever. There was a Eagles forward right there, ready to pounce should the opportunity present itself.
Waldrop with the left foot to Weisendonner. Weisendonner finds another left footer in Leitenberg. That's going to probably find its way. It does find its way into touch. Kron goes quickly to Weisendonner. Weisendonner could spin to her right. She does. Has it on her dominant left foot. Takes it down into the corner. And it's hammered into touch. Smartly done that time by the defense. See if Kron can uncork a long throw for Seehafer in the box. It's knocked down that time by the Eagles. And Leitenberg will force the goal kick. Almost 15 minutes gone here at Wildcats Stadium, the Section 3 3A semifinal. It is the playoffs. The loser of today's game will go home, and their season will be complete. The winner will play on the 17th against the winner of the Rosemount Eastview game, which is taking place right now in Eastview at Eastview High School in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Wildcats beat both of those teams this year, but a 2-3 seed is always an interesting matchup for a 1 seed, as differences between a 1 seed and a 2 seed or a 1 seed and a 3 seed are often very, very small. There's a shot towards Valaga, and that'll swerve well into touch.
Number 12 with the shot. It is wide. Goal kick, Wildcats.
We should mention too, besides the slight rain that we've been dealing with, there is a significant breeze as well. It's hard to tell when looking at the field. Every once in a while you'll see a breeze taken off on one of the corner flags, but it's coming pretty aggressively from the other side of the field towards us here in the booth. So that can play a factor as well.
Henning and Jensen trying to create an Eagle sandwich. That ball finds its way to the far side of the field. Here's an opportunity for the Eagles. It's broken up that time by Turner. Jensen dispossessed that time by Corey. And the Wildcats are going to get a big clearance here off the foot of Turner. Finds Seehafer. There's a lot of green grass for Seehafer. She's going to have a speed advantage there. She's by McGregor. She crosses it in. Back door. Back post. Weisendonner had her hips turned the wrong way. Leitenberg comes out with it and fires that off of a defender in another corner.
One of the things we've already seen a few times here on these crosses is the Wildcats on the other side of the field, the ones that are trying to receive that ball and put a shot in, they're getting actually too close to the goal, and they find themselves having to come back towards the ball. They might want to stagger themselves, put one girl close in case it goes near the goal, but the other one farther away.
Jensen swings in, finds Enning again. Now Kron. Kron lays that off for Jensen. Jensen with a left foot, right foot. Just hit that just a little bit too hard. And Enning will give chase. She almost gets there. It's an A for effort for Anna Enning. Just an unlucky result. This falls for Seehafer. Enning, cross. Jensen battles. Waldrop finds Weisendonner again. Weisendonner with not a lot of pressure if she doesn't move. Here's an opportunity. Layoff here for Jensen. Jensen. Perhaps a bit too much passing near the outside of the 18, Skip Newton.
Yeah, they're looking for that perfect play. I think there was a golden opportunity at some point there to just fire one in the general vicinity of the goal and see what happens.
Now, this moisture is going to impact not just the field conditions, but the keeper's gloves as Waldrop's pass for Kron is intercepted. Kron will clean this up and probably go back for Turner. She does.
Wildcats doing a really nice job of keeping the pressure on at all phases and all places of the field. They're not just playing defense in their own half, but they're pressuring aggressively when Apple Valley's got the ball in their defensive third, trying to bring the ball out. They're finding trouble doing that, and I think that kind of relentless pressure is going to prove to be successful as the game goes forward. They're going to force some turnovers, and that's going to result in scoring opportunities.
Jensen backing down a defender, now spins the other way, now tries to go back into the defender. Jensen finds Seehafer. Seehafer with a speed advantage, goes around one defender. She's going to send that in with her right foot.
Shot, Josie Seehafer, number 18.
And saved by the keeper.
Save made, Michaela Moran.
Tough shot from that angle, given where Seehafer was facing. She was really facing the corner. Keeper in a good position to cut off. Pretty much it would have taken a miraculous shot to put that where the keeper wouldn't have a good opportunity to get her hands on it.
Wildcats combine there, Cron and Leitenberg. Now Cron finds Jensen. Jensen going backwards. Probably could have gone forward. I thought maybe she could have gone forwards there, but in any event. Seehafer wins that throw. I think we will have a substitution, Coach Q's first substitution of the game. Emma Fetsic is going to come on for Mal Jensen. So like for like changes. Now Waldrop will move into the center attacking midfield or the center midfield position, and Jolstrom and Fetsic will be your holding mids. Turner heaves that forward. Finds a couple of heads. Weisendonner with a foul there. Not sure about that one. From up here, think about how many times Kylie Weisendonner gets absolutely hammered, though because of her strong legs and low center of gravity, she stays on her feet. She does not get calls, Skip Newton.
Yeah, running straight into a defender, knocking her down was one that's probably going to draw the call more often than not.
Cron over the top looking for something there. You're right, Skip Newton. The Wildcats passing through the middle of the park very well right now and really controlling the ball, but the attacking third end product of the last few minutes has not been there. Oh, this is a great touch by Weisendonner. Waldrop finds it, and it's off of her foot. Good defense that time to force that off of Waldrop's foot. Second or third time we've seen Weisendonner with a nice little, what I'll call a slip pass maybe, or just a small touch pass that's right to one of her teammates that sets them off.
Yeah, Waldrop just couldn't get that in a position to take a shot. She had a couple different options. One was the one she attempted to go past the defender on the outside. The other one, she could have tried to fake that way and cut back in, giving herself a better shooting angle. I'm sure the defender was probably cheating that way, making sure that that didn't happen.
Opportunity here for the Eagles as Turner's clearance was claimed. Turner sends it up again. The forwards and mids for the Wildcats are going to have to be a little more energetic in claiming those clearances. Now Waldrop will skip by a couple of defenders. She's being harassed there. She finds Leitenberg, who tried to chip it over to Weisendonner. Couldn't quite work. Seehafer tries to find Leitenberg. Now Seehafer again. She takes one touch. Now she goes for the cross. I think that was a cross. It might have been a shot. It was a tricky little ball either way. If it had been on frame, it would have been something.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of shot where, because of how she hit it, if that had been towards the far corner, that was not going to be saved. It was going to go home. But too hard by Seehafer as far as a opportunity for her teammate to get any sort of touch on the ball.
Horn, number 2, taking the place of Cron on the outside. So Weisendonner now battles inside, and I think that's going to go for a, excellent play that time. Well, they are going to call a corner. The ball did make it out well.
Ball over the end line off Apple.
Yep, it is going to be a corner. At first I thought that might be a throw, but instead Weisendonner will put her left foot to it.
Weisendonner, number 10 on the kick.
It'll be an out-swinging corner. Weisendonner looks, finds at least one head, comes out, finds Horn. Horn tries to send that back for Weisendonner. Weisendonner sends it back into the penalty area, but no Wildcats there.
Interesting how the Wildcats had completely moved themselves onto that the far half of the field. There was nobody there. That was a great cross that I would have expected someone to be standing there waiting for that one.
He plays it back just in Wildcat midfield right now and just not coming back for those passes from the defense as they were in the earlier part of the game. So many of these passes from the defense are not finding the midfield. They can go out to the outside to Leitenberg or Seehofer, but right now the midfield struggling to receive passes and being able to turn it up the field.
Back in Melina Cha, number 2, also back in
Additional substitutions here for the Eagles. Just over 16 minutes to go here in the first half. Score 1-0 to the Wildcats.
And Jordan Teese, number 16.
Nice turn there.
Beautiful ball. Oh, it's a beautiful one. Moran, instead of picking it up, curiously tries to play it with her feet. I'm not sure what the decision making there was, but it worked for her. And Kara Waldrop is thinking, try that again, miss, and I'll see what I can do with it next time. Jolstrom down to the turf. DeRozier attacking for the Eagles. Fetsic is going to try to keep this in. She does. Finds Leitenberg. Leitenberg's going to go right by. Well, I was going to say she's going to go right by until there's some great defense out there on the far side by Lambertson.
Several examples so far here this late afternoon of Apple Valley players using their body well to shield off the Eagan players, and that is a good technique to use, especially when dealing with a few girls that are clearly faster on the Eagan side.
Enne hoists it into the Eagle end. Weisendauer gives a half-hearted chase. There was no way she was going to get to that one. But again, another situation, Skip, where the defense is not able to get the ball safely to the, or the defense and the midfield are not connecting. Maybe that's the better way of saying it. Good step by Fetsic that time. Weisendauer, Leitenberg, they create a turnover. Oh, Seehofer undone by some nice defense there. And earns the throw. Good turn there by Weisendauer, and she earns the throw. She's got a battle there with Segura Espinoza.
Pretty significant stiff arm to the back for her trouble there, no call.
Yeah, I think Kylie Weisendauer is when it comes to getting calls, she's easily, in my opinion, the Wildcat most hard done by the referees. Good step there by Turner. Turner's looking for one of her teammates that time. Earns the throw instead. Now she'll come forward for a big throw. Now the Wildcats moving around inside the penalty area. Ball off of Waldrop. Additional substitution coming in, I think, for the Wildcats. It looks like Courtney Bumpers will be checking in. Not sure his spot she'll be taking. Vonderhaar spills that out into touch. It is going to be Weisendauer.
Substitution for the Wildcats.
Weisendauer battling a little bit of a foot problem after Tuesday's game.
Kylie Weisendauer, number 10.
So far in this game, she's played very, very well, so we'll see what Courtney Bumpers can do from her spot. Of course, Bumpers brings a lot of height, a lot of speed, straight line speed especially.
Oh, and the front four there of the Wildcats are all track stars. I mean, that is a lot of speed up front here for Eagan.
Heave by Turner. Finds Seehofer. That ball's going to be hammered back out into touch. Safety first, the mantra of the Eagle defense.
Well, they have to be thinking if they can get out of this half, at worst, down a goal. That's not a horrible situation to be in.
Ball finds its way to Leitenberg. Leitenberg battling. Finds Bumpers. Bumpers sends it across. Waldrop off the post.
Shot taken, Kara Waldrop.
Safety not assured for the Eagles as Seehofer puts on a move and crosses it in. And it's claimed by Moran.
Sneaky touch there by Waldrop. I don't know how she got a foot on that. The defender was right there, but she just stuck her long leg out, got the foot on it, almost directed that one into the corner. It was a nice shot up in the air there by Seehafer. A little bit farther, and that might have gone over the head of the goalkeeper and in for the goal number 2.
11 minutes to go here in the first half. As you say, Skip Newton, Eagles will feel okay going into halftime down only 1-0, given the relative domination by the Wildcats. As we do have our first foul of the game against the Eagles.
Wildcats.
Free kick for Turner from about 50 yards out.
Cassie Turner, number 24 on the kick.
Wildcats from the edge of the penalty area. Finds its way in, finds its way to Waldrop. Tries to get it on her right foot. It's taken away from her. Jolstrom taken down. Referee, I think, is going to play advantage here. Ball gets sent back over, but no one's making that run. Now, Enning. Finds Bumpers. Bumpers spins, looks for Waldrop. That was a nice little 1-2 pass. And we're back to a familiar scenario, Skip Newton. Seehafer's throw in intercepted. And that'll find its way well down the field and into touch for the Wildcats.
Been a lot of action down here in the Apple Valley half of the field. Eagan's got to be thinking they want to get a second goal here.
Bumpers had a chance there. She flicked it on, but then didn't immediately spin to try to get onto that ball. Needs to be a little more of a cutting edge here from the forwards for the Wildcats as Bumper sends that across. Now we'll have yet another throw in for the Wildcats. Enning looking for Bumpers, finds her. Bumpers in the penalty area, double teamed. Waldrop, right foot, earns the corner.
Nice turn there by Waldrop to get it headed in the correct direction towards the middle of the field. Defender was in the right position to deflect it, but no way to do anything other than deflect that over the goal line here. Another corner kick for the Wildcats. Let's see if they can capitalize on what is, I believe, number 4 or 5 so far. Number 4 this half.
Ella Horn coming up to use her left foot to curl this in from the spot. And she looks for it. It's down. It's in the net. It's a goal for the Wildcats. Not sure who touched it.
Kira Waldrop. Kira Waldrop, I believe, got a foot on that. A beautiful corner there by Horn. Put that right where it was playable, and it skips through, and just an easy tap in for Kira.
Kira Waldrop, the senior captain from Ella Horn, another senior. Just check it, excuse me. Ella Horn is a junior. The senior captain, though, does the business for the Wildcats, and now a 2-0 lead for the Wildcats.
That was that second goal that we were looking for. Eagan's got to feel a lot more comfortable going in to half, potentially with a 2-goal lead that negates any sort of weird hop or a call that doesn't go their way, just something bizarre that results in a goal. And we've seen that happen far too many times in this sport. Gives them a little bit of breathing room. Of course, you don't want to let up. You definitely want to look for another goal here and just put that proverbial nail in the coffin. It's still a lot of soccer to be played, but that's a huge goal here late in the second or in the first half.
Well, as we said, the Apple Valley Eagles have been offensively challenged this year, Skip Newton, and so a 2-goal lead, I wouldn't say it's safe, but it certainly is a tall mountain for them to climb. As you said, Skip, I think you wonder if a third goal might just be the dagger in the back, so to speak, or the nail in the coffin, or pick your metaphor. They're all fairly morbid, but in any event, Apple Valley substituting again, but in any event, the Wildcats certainly showing some real quality. And that ball was on the ground, it was floating around, and it was ping-ponging around there in the penalty area, in the goal area. And Waldrop stabbed it. to cash in. See Hafer and bumpers. Take a minute. We often do this in the second half. I'm going to do this in the first half. I want to say thank you to our ETV crew, our award-winning ETV crew that make us look and sound so good here on ETV, and your source for Wildcat sports in terms of TV, online, etc. Executive producer is Josh Sibley. Director is Joe Chupik. Ken Trainer and Brad Lester are our camera people today. Thank you so much for making us look good and sound good here and on ETV, and thank you for such a great season. Don't anticipate the season ending tonight, but at the same time for the girls, but at the same time, you never know. Ending for fall. Fetzic using her body to shield off the Apple Valley player. Apple Valley, to be fair, it looks like they're showing a little more urgency, Skip, as Fall battles DeRozier's in the corner. And hoofs that out. But it's instantly taken away that time by the Eagles. Waldrop's touch lets her down. She gets it back. And Leitenberg says enough of this running stuff. Let's have a throw in.
Yeah, the Eagles definitely need to pick it up offensively. They need to make more runs, take more chances, be more aggressive. The Wildcats need to prepare for that. They need to know that response is coming, and they need to make sure that they're ready defensively. They haven't had to do a ton of defending on the back line thus far, in the game, but that is going to change. I mean, there's no way Apple Valley's not going to pick it up a notch.
Shots are 8-3 in favor of the Wildcats. Wildcats hosting this semifinal game will also, if they prevail here tonight or today, this afternoon, I guess we're in the evening hours, I guess now. Tonight, and the lights are on. Tonight, if they prevail, they will be hosting on next Tuesday, the 17th, the section championship for 3-3A. We don't know who the opponent's going to be for that game. It'll again be either the Rosemount Irish or the Eastview Lightning. In any event, regardless of who the opponent's going to be, it should be one whale of a soccer game.
Come on, Blue.
Last handful of section championship games have been, with the exception of perhaps last year with Rosemount and Eagan, where Rosemount was just a dominant machine. With that exception, the last handful of section championships here have been 1-0 affairs, Skip.
Between the same two teams.
Between the same two teams, that's right. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think the Eastview Lightning have a chance tonight to beat those Rosemount Irish.
And we should be thankful that we are dealing with a little bit of rain in this game, because 3 years ago we got dumped on with snow, and all of the section semifinals and final games we moved indoors.
With the kick, 23.
Lee Westerman has checked in. Macy Bray has checked in. Addie Tanner has checked in as Fall steps past DeRozier's. Look at Isabella Fall. And Isabella Fall feeds Tanner and feeds her a little too hard.
Apple Valley.
Looking at your lineup, I think we've got all the Wildcats. Oh, check it. Leah Zirkelbach is also in for Anna Henning on this side, the near side of your device. So I think that's, for the most part, that's Coach Q playing virtually all of his bench players. So they're getting some time here late in the first half to not only give the starters a rest, but also demonstrate what they can do. Horn battling there in the corner, does a nice job taking it away from Fetzic. Fetzic's attempted clearance does find Tanner, who had come back. Nicely done by Tanner, tracking back. Westerman now dispossessed. That was DeRozier. DeRozier finds one of her teammates. Here's an opportunity for the Eagles, and an excellent tackle that time. And she had to get it right. That was Cassie Turner. A risky tackle, but it had to be done. Otherwise, she was going to be in on Valaga all by herself.
Yeah, turnover at midfield there set that play up. It looked like the Wildcats were going to bust out clean, and then all of a sudden it came right back. A beautiful through ball there set up a potential excellent shot on goal.
Corner goes long. It's going to find its way into the back. Waldrop clears it, but clears it into the middle of the field. Zirkelbach tries a clearance. That's going to be a handball. There's no call. I suppose probably because it blocked her teammate's own cross, but in any event, Westerman to the defensive pump as well, and now the Wildcats will enjoy a throw-in. Like to see the Wildcats maintain some good fundamentals here in the last 90 seconds. Make sure those clearances go hard and high and out to the outside. Bumpers has a chance. She's going to try to run through that. Westerman flicks it forward, looking for Waldrop. Bray. Fetzic. Bumpers in on goal. Bumpers scuffed it. Oh, she wants that one back, Skip Newton.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity. It looked like she might have even rushed it a little bit. I think she had a chance to take maybe another step and really just get into that a little bit more, or at least aim it to the corner instead of stabbing at it so quickly.
Wildcats with a share of shots on goal, scoring chances, but the Eagles not going away. Turner battling DeRogers. Lots of contact there. Could have been a foul either way. The Wildcats need to get organized defensively. Zirkelbach. Oh, unlucky there for Zirkelbach as she was battling on the near sideline. Against Teese. Westerman takes a spill. 10 seconds to go. This ball gets hoofed forward. Wildcats just need to put this into touch, or at least to the outside, and they do. A little nervy here in the last handful of minutes of the first half, Skip Newton, but that would be a real offset to the dominance that we saw from the Eagan Wildcats through the first, say, 35 minutes of the half. It's a 2-0 lead to the Wildcats, Skip. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very dominating performance here for Eagan. They controlled the ball. It felt like we were looking at the Apple Valley defensive half of the field for almost the entire half. It just, things got a little bit of away from them there at the end. Fortunately, it did not result in a goal against. We needed them to finish. We talked about putting a crooked number up on the board. They did just that. They did it in the first half. That's very important. Now it puts all the pressure on Apple Valley to take more chances, to be more aggressive, and that leads to opportunities for the Wildcats in the second half to counterattack. That's where we may see that speed really come into play.
Well, we'll be back for the second half in about 10 minutes here on ETV. The score 2-0 to the Wildcats here in the Section 3A semifinal game. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, but we will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
Shots on goal, Apple Valley with 0 shots on goal. The Wildcats with 5. First half fouls, Apple Valley 2. Wildcats with 0. Corner kicks, Apple Valley 1. Eagan Wildcats with 4. There were no yellow card cautions issued in the first half. The Section 3, Class 3 Coaches All-Section Academic Team Award is given to the top 2 senior players from each team with the highest cumulative grade point average. These players represent exactly what it means to be outstanding student athletes. But this time we would like to recognize the members of the coaches, the Section 3 AAA Coaches All-Section Academic Team from Apple Valley and from Eagan. From Apple Valley, congratulations to Melina Cha, senior midfield. Congratulations to Ashlyn DeRosa, senior midfield. For the Eagan Wildcats, congratulations to Addie Tanner, senior attack.
Welcome back to second half action here on ETV. It's girls high school soccer, the Section 3 3A semifinal game between the visiting Apple Valley Eagles and your Eagan Wildcats. Wildcats 2 goals in the first half, one from Seehafer in the 11th minute and Kira Waldrop in the 32nd minute for a 2-0 lead here at halftime. Nathan Cron again joined by my broadcast partner Skip Newton, an award-winning ETV crew. And Skip, the Wildcats started the game well, played, I would say, fair to say, almost looked dominant in the first probably 30 to 35 minutes of the half, and then in the late minutes of the first half, got a little discombobulated, weren't connecting, a little out of shape. You know, what does Coach Q tell his girls at halftime? How does he adjust off of that?
He needs to remind them that there's a lot of soccer left. We got 40 minutes and anything can happen. And the key here is they need to come out and stay aggressive, keep winning 50-50 balls, keep making good passes, keep trying to score goals. You don't ever want to get defensive-minded, especially with this much time left. You know, once you get up, 4-0, then you can start playing a little more defensive style of soccer. But right now, I mean, they just need to keep doing what they were doing for the majority of that first half, and they're going to be just fine.
Wildcats in blue with white numbers, moving from right to left on your device as Waldrop dispossesses one of the Eagles. Now she makes a wonder down the sideline. Defense that time by Espinoza, who sends that towards touch, and it will find touch, so we'll have a deep throw in here for Turner. Starting lineup, or the second half lineup, looks to be very similar to the starting lineup for the Wildcats, with the exception of Mal Jensen starts on the bench with Emma Fetsic as the other holding midfielder. Turner over this throw. It's high. Falls that time for Seehafer, who sends it across looking for Leitenberg, and it's in the net! Josie Seehafer and Ava Leitenberg, the two outside flashes for the Wildcats, combined for a goal. To be honest with you, Skip Newton, I'm not sure if that was for Seehafer or whether Leitenberg got a touch to it. I could not tell, but in any event, it's 3-0 to the Wildcats.
Yeah, it looked like that ball was just perfectly placed, right spot, right time, and neither a Apple Valley defender nor the goalkeeper could get any sort of body part on it. A huge goal here early in the third. I mean, that's demoralizing for the Eagles. Whatever momentum they might have been able to obtain late in the first half by getting a few opportunities obviously has been completely squashed now.
Well, it came off of the deep throw from goal came from off of a throw from Turner, found Seehafer. Credit is going to be given to Leitenberg. And officially, they're going to say no assist. But I'm going to tell you right now, that was a Josie Seehafer assist all day long. If anyone's going to get an assist, it is Josie Seehafer. The only reason you wouldn't give Seehafer an assist on that is maybe if you think that somehow it was played by a Eagle defender.
It is unassisted in the 41st minute. Time of the goal is 40 minutes, 47 seconds.
But now all the work to do for the Eagles as the Wildcats take a 3-0 lead. Could you start a second half any better than that, Skip Newton?
No, that's exactly what you dial up at halftime. You tell the girls, we got to keep playing strong, keep playing aggressive. We got to get another goal, and to get one in the first minute of the second half, that just gives them not only all the momentum, but it makes the Eagles climb a really big hill here to get back into this.
Eagles have scored 3 goals in a game this season. Earlier in the year, they scored, other than the Burnsville game, they have scored 3 goals in a game against Richfield and against a couple of other opponents, but it has been a while since the Eagles had more than 2 goals in a match. Weisendonner will send that out for Cron. That's just a little too heavy. Even Cron's track speed can't catch up with that one.
I don't think Weisendonner realized that Leitenberg had checked back to the ball there and was wide open around midfield. Probably would have been a little bit of an easier pass to complete. Not that it really matters as the Wildcats continue to move this ball into the Apple Valley half of the field.
Waldrop's got to remember to take that ball with her now. She does. Weisendonner, eyes up, finds Enning on the overlap run. Nicely done. Good defense there on the far side for the Eagles. That was McGregor on Enning.
Enning is really skilled at determining when she should be making a run and when she needs to stay back into her defensive position. Just does a nice job of making a good tactical decision almost 100% of the time.
Goal kick for Moran. It's intercepted that time by Jolstrom. And now the Wildcats will have a throw for Enning. Time ticking down in the Apple Valley Eagles season. Surely they have some offensive pressure somewhere available to them. They're just going to have to dial it up. There's 2-on-1 in that corner. Turner's going to play that back for Valaga, and Valaga sends it safely out.
Eagan has the luxury now of being able to play smart defense. They don't want to commit fouls in their own half of the field. If they have to, they can just kick the ball into touch and regroup. A lot of options here for the defense in order to maintain this 3-goal lead.
Foul here against the Wildcats. First of the second half. Shots are really lopsided in favor of the Wildcats. 10-3, 10-4.
Foul call on the Wildcats. Free kick, Apple Valley. Number 10.
DeRozier will stand over this and look for an opportunity. This might be a chance for the Eagles. An unmolested free kick in the attacking half has been rare for them tonight. Vonderhaar gets it on her thigh. Can't quite turn, though. She's battling Fall. Fall pokes it away. And Leitenberg sends that to safety.
And that's an example of what the Wildcats need to do defensively. Leitenberg playing a forward position, often seen attacking, but she does a nice job of checking back and playing defense as well. You need everyone to participate defensively. You know, keep the pressure on, pressure everywhere on the field. That's going to make it a lot harder for Apple Valley to connect passes and get scoring opportunities.
Enning's pass for Weisendonner just not quite where it needed to be. Starts to recover and then hits the deck. This ball might just find its way into the box, but Cassie Turner says, not on my watch, and puts that into touch. Valaga calls off Fall, and she's able to wrangle that. We'll see a punt here from Valaga. Hasn't had a lot of work to do tonight, but has definitely had to be solid between the pipes. Fetzich gets that one off of Weisendonner's knockdown. Weisendonner and Waldrop have actually switched positions, Skip. Weisendonner has moved to a midfield role. Waldrop has taken that center forward position.
I was just noticing that myself and was going to talk about the evolution of the soccer player known as Kiera Waldrop, playing a defensive position for her first 3 years here at Eagan High School. This is her 4th year on varsity. Moved up to a holding mid and now playing up at a forward position. It just shows you how her game continues to develop. Very exciting to see her not only be able to do that, but be successful at it with a hat trick on Tuesday, a goal here already tonight.
High school soccer is a different animal than even club soccer or other types of soccer that these girls play. Sometimes players need to be able to move into new positions to help the team. And there's an opportunity for Seehafer. She skips by one defender now. She's got some more green grass. Nobody's stepping up. She sends it over the top. Is Leitenberg going to be able to get onto this? And Moran says, no, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Just a bit too heavy. I'd like to see if Seehafer's going to play that ball to Leitenberg, perhaps start another 10 to 15 yards earlier. Give Leitenberg some more room to run onto it.
Yeah, she did what a lot of times players are told to do. When you have open space in front of you, attack it with the dribble, make the defense commit, and then make your decision whether you're going to beat them off the dribble or you make a pass or make a shot, depending on where you are on the field. A lot of tactical options there. In that case, because she had gotten so close, she would have been better off maybe shooting more for the corner on that pass.
Seehafer running, splitting the defense. Seehafer And she scores her brace for the Wildcats. Nicely done from Emma Fetsic. Emma Fetsic, the senior midfielder, finds Josie Seehafer Jr. outside attacker, and the Wildcats have a 4-0 lead.
Oh, just a beautiful play there, right up the middle. Seehafer showing us her speed, winning that ball easily, and then doing what she does more often than not and finishing quite strongly. An awesome play there by the Wildcats. 4-goal lead. This might be just too big of a mountain to climb now for the Eagles.
2 shots on goal in this half. 2 goals. Skip Newton, efficiency for the Wildcats.
You gotta like it when the statistic is 2 shots in goal.
Ball comes up over the top. Valga claims. And there certainly will be every opportunity here for the Wildcats to not only control the ball, but not only control the ball, but possess the ball.
The assist to number 22, Emma Fetsic.
To be fair, I don't think the Wildcats are done scoring goals.
The time of the goal is 48 minutes.
Seehafer finds Waldrop. So Seehafer on a brace. Waldrop with 2 points tonight. They chip it forward looking for Leitenberg. Moran, for some reason, didn't control it. I'd be safer for her if she picked it up right away. Even just touching the ball with her hand will discontinue Leitenberg's assault, so I kind of would have liked her to do that. I always worry about collisions there, especially on wet fields.
Not the first time we've seen that. She looks to be fairly comfortable using her feet. Suggests that maybe she's played out of net quite often in her soccer career.
The last matchup between these two teams earlier this season was a 5-0 victory for the Wildcats, and that script seems to be replaying itself right now. Eagles don't really seem to have an answer for the tight defense being played by the Wildcats. When the Eagles have room, they have been successful in terms of moving the ball up the field, but when the defense is closing them down, they're not able to create opportunities for themselves. Speaking of opportunities, here's Kira Waldrop just battling Espinoza on the outside. Waldrop slides it for Leitenberg. Leitenberg can't get a foot to it. Now what's unclear is who that came off of. Fetsic says, doesn't matter, I'm going to win the race. And unfortunately for Fetsic, that's going to go for an Eagle throw.
Waldrop, nice cross there, looking for Leitenberg. She also had a trailer. I believe it was Seehafer dropping behind. Had she chosen to drop a negative pass on the ground, that would have been a perfect hammer opportunity for Seehafer. One of those things where Josie can help her out if she's communicating, just screaming for the ball, because it's possible that Waldrop didn't even know she was there.
Quite a tall order for the Eagles to make a comeback in this game, Skip Newton, but the challenge for the Wildcats is crispness, isn't it? Oh, that's a great shot by Waldrop. That was swerving in on goal, looking for the hat trick. And that will go for a corner. It is crispness, isn't it? Isn't it to keep a clean sheet, to not have any bad turnovers, to not have any injuries, to just be sensible and play simple, isn't it, Skip?
Yeah, you want to keep playing as good of soccer as you possibly can. Obviously, they're setting themselves up for a section championship match next Tuesday. You want to go into that and you want to be confident, but also playing really well. And if there's anything they can clean up here today, now's a chance to work on that on the pitch.
Weisendonner with her left foot looks in, finds something. I'm not sure what that was off Moran. Moran punched it high. And it went all the way through the back post and out again, so Weisendonner will now trot to the other side. And she'll try one more time.
Another well-placed corner kick. We saw a goal earlier, the second goal of the first half with that perfect one by Ella Horn. That was another one that easily could have resulted in another goal.
Wildcats play that short, they do. Leitenberg, or Seehafer I should say, lays off for Weisendonner. Weisendonner with a hard cross. It's low, it's in the box, and it's out of play.
So there's an example of something that the Wildcats might be more inclined to try here with a 4-goal lead. Let's try our short corner kick option, see how can we execute this, and if there's anything they can work on between now and next Tuesday.
Certainly the Wildcats will have their hands full with whichever team they draw for next Tuesday. assuming this score stands. As Weisendonner intercepts that, she goes down, lost her balance. Good effort by Kylie Weisendonner, as we've seen all season long. Whether it's the Rosemont Irish or the Eastview Lightning. And according to the Twitter machine, the last update was the Rosemont Irish had a 2-1 lead over the Eastview Lightning. Lightenberg goes to goal and wide.
That opportunity set up by some great defense on the far side by Anna Enning as the ball cleared out about to the 30-yard line or so on the football field. Enning was right there to put pressure on and won it back. That's the kind of pressure that the defense continues to put on. I mean, they're not even giving Apple Valley a chance to get it past midfield. It's just relentless, and that's the type of thing they need to keep doing, and they definitely want to keep doing that next week. Again, should this game conclude the way that we're expecting it to.
Interesting there, the ball played back to Moran. Punts it away. Oh, took a flick there off an Apple Valley head. Fall and Turner get their act together. This finds Lightenberg. Lightenberg in an offside position. So the first offside call of the second half here for the Wildcats.
Indirect free kick, Apple Valley.
Espinoza will get us started with an indirect free kick. Good step up by Turner that time. I'm sure Coach Q would like to see that ball not flying through the air, but rather on the deck. Good overlapping run by Cron. Cron's got a lot of space in front of her. She's going to pick out a teammate, though, and go for Waldrop. Finds Waldrop's right boot. Waldrop puts the moves on, heads towards the middle. It's blocked that time, but it falls for Weisendonner. Weisendonner shot, but right at Moran.
Weisendonner in a great position there, right at the 18. Centered perfectly between the goalposts, just couldn't hit it anywhere else but the center. She puts that either left or right. That's goal number 5.
Foul on Anna Enning there. Good run by Cron, setting up Waldrop, setting up Weisendonner. Eagles go quickly. And the aforementioned Anna Enning pooches that into the Eagles' end.
I think I would have gone with a different strategy there on that free kick. I think I would rather push as many of my teammates down the pitch as I possibly can and just give it a ride as far as you can. Get it down there and see if you can get, a great play, a good bounce, the right deflection and get a shot on goal.
Ashley Severson, number 6, checking in for the Wildcats, replacing Anna Enning here in the last 24 minutes. The Apple Valley Eagles not able to really put together much in the way of an offensive plan here, at least so far. Wildcat defense has just been really stifling as Jolstrom gives that one back to the Eagles, but the Eagles don't really seem to have much of a plan here. It seems like kick and chase is a little bit what they have to do. Now, of course, down 4 goals, you don't really have a lot of time to build, but you got to get one before you can get number 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, and it's hard to execute a lot of passes consecutively when you're constantly under pressure as soon as you get the ball. That's the one thing that the Wildcats have done very well the majority of the game, one of many things.
Waldrop finds Fetzich. Fetzich slides it. Oh, tried to slide it over to Lightenberg. Now she hoofs it over for Lightenberg. Nicely done. Lightenberg sets up Waldrop. Well, that gets by one of the... That was a great job that time by Seehafer. Or Fetzich, check it. Ball comes in over the top of Moran, and that gets over everybody. That's still not out.
That's the second time we've seen a diving save by Moran. Just a couple of brilliant saves by her, both of them diving to her left.
Next time to take the ball with you. Oh, good play.
Balls find their way in towards Weisendonner, who snaps and fires, but unfortunately Moran right there for Weisendonner. I thought it might have come off of Weisendonner's hand there for just a moment, but center referee Josh Hartwell didn't call that.
One of the things we talked about before the game was when you get opportunities, finishing, but it's important to put the ball on net, to make the goalkeeper make a play, try and get some sort of a deflection. They've been doing that well all game long.
Waldrop, side netting.
Shot taken through a Waldrop.
I basically guaranteed the next shot was going to be wide or high saying that, but that's okay.
It's the commentator's curse, isn't it, Skip Newton? By my count, 7 shots here in the second half for the Wildcats. 5 of them have been on goal. That's still an excellent percentage. 2 goals for the Wildcats. Seehafer looking for Waldrop. Waldrop lays off for Weisendonner, but says, I can't get it now, I can get it. Cron on the overlap. Cron sends it in towards goal, and that will be another corner.
Some great touch and pass and position there by Cron. She did a nice job of not blasting it up in the air. She put it on the ground, good pace. If a Wildcat gets a foot on that first, it's almost for sure going to be in the goal. It was well defended by Apple Valley.
All it needed was a touch, but the Eagles got to it first. Here's Weisendonner. Somebody in blue needs to attack it. Eagles get to it first. Severson dispossessed, and outbreak the Eagles. Wildcats in recovery mode, fall back, finding Valaga. And Valaga sends that all the way up to Seehafer, who lays that off for Severson. And it ping-pongs around in the midfield. Ball from Weisendonner for Cron. Cron, Leitenberg. Fetzich. Fetzich dispossessed. Cron has to clean that up. Fall hoofs it forward. Emma Fetzich with a forearm shiver. If we were in the WWE,
Free kick for the
call it a
Eagles.
forearm drop. Check it. That'd be the AWA, not the WWE, was I thinking. In any event, the ball gets sent into the Eagan penalty area. Fall battling there against Teese. Goes on for a deep throw, and Cron will take that. Some substitutions getting ready on the Eagan sideline. I imagine in the next few minutes we will see some more substitutions as Cron finds Leitenberg. And now she hoofs it out. Nicely done, right down the sideline, finds Waldrop, who hammers it off of, unlucky that time, off of Woldemichael.
Yeah, Waldrop had it set up there. She wanted to kick it past her into open space and then utilize that speed to run it down. Just knocked it off the defender. Still rewarded with the throw-in.
Nice throw looking for Waldrop. It's pooched up in the air. Rozier looking for one of her teammates. That's broken up by Turner. Rozier gets it back. Now she attacks. Better runs that the Eagles have had certainly here in the game and definitely in the second half. Severson battling on the outside, and now we'll see a whole slew of substitutions. Let's see if the center referee will wave them on. And it was a free, I think he awarded a free kick. Looks like he awarded a free kick to the Eagles. DeRosiers will take that. DeRosiers will send that towards goal.
There's a foul on the Wildcats.
Bounces around, and Valaga claims it. Players in blue are going to be, many of them are going to be substituted off. I'm sure they should keep this ball in bounds as long as they can. Get some more playing time, but in any event, thank you for joining us here on ETV, whether you're from South Florida, South Dakota, or parts unknown. Ball with a nice step, finds Waldrop. And it's poked into touch. I think now we will have substitutions, and won't even try to
Multiple
tell you who's coming and who's going.
Eagan Soccer would like to thank their support that has been there throughout the season. ARC Soccer Training Center, Melanie and John Willie with Edina Realty, the Eagan Football Booster Club, Eagan Hockey Association, I Got Skills, Jordan Drilling Solutions, State Farm Agency Nick DeVries, Triple Diamond Sports Breaks, The Urgency Room, and Wave Soccer Club. Thank you so much for your continued support throughout this soccer season. We would not be as successful without you.
Update from Apple Valley, Minnesota. The Rosemount Irish have taken a 3-1 lead over the Eastview Lightning. Hard to tell exactly how much time is left in that game, but they are definitely in the second half. So if that score holds, it will be a rematch of last year's section final here at Wildcat Stadium next Tuesday between the Eagan Wildcats and the visiting Rosemount Irish.
And that has been the two teams in the section championship going back at least to the year 2020. In fact, that was the first year of the streak. 2020, Eagan winning 1-0. Rosemount victorious the last 2 years.
Let's do our best here to reset the Eagan lineup a little bit here if we can take a breath as that ball gets played towards Turner. Vonderhaar runs that down. Now gives Turner a little bit of extra elbow grease, but it goes into touch. The forwards for the Wildcats, Courtney Bumpers, Addie Tanner, and Ellie Westerman. Your midfielders, Mal Jensen, Macy Bray, and the aforementioned Kira Waldrop now on the ball. Waldrop picking out a runner. She sends it over the top, but it's headed away. Leah Zirkelbach out at outside back here, as you just saw flash into your screen. And that's Ella Horn, also flashing into your screen. So Ella Horn moving to a center back position next to Turner. It's an interesting change of pace. As Severson maintains the other side, of course, Valga in goal. So Ella Horn not just playing outside back, Skidnood, but playing center back.
Well, Coach Q, with the luxury of a 4-goal lead here with just 15 minutes left to play, can move players around, give them an opportunity at different positions, give them some more playing time. You never know when that might come in handy. Give them that experience. They've certainly earned it the way they've played not only this season, but of course here tonight.
Jensen looks for Severson on the overlap. Severson connects, looking for Westerman, the two freshmen. Westerman sends that in towards Bumpers. Zirkelbach on the back. She gets it onto her right foot, and that shot is hard, but it's blocked. Schwartz paid for that one, number 14 for the Eagles. It will go for a corner, but that looked like a hard shot, Skip Newton.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Zirkelbach filling in the open space there up from her left back position. That's exactly what you want your outside defenders to do. Usually that space is wide open when the ball was on the other side of the field and switched over, so just nicely done there.
Bray over the corner. Turner up for it. Ping pongs around. Look at Zirkelbach flashing in. Look, she can't find it now. She finds it. And she'll go back all the way to Horn. Horn sends that forward. It's intercepted by the Eagles. Wildcats aren't quite in good shape right now defensively. Open to a counterattack if the Eagles can hurry. And now Horn and Turner finally get back into position, and Valga says, don't worry about it, I've got it.
Yeah, one thing Horn needs to do there is be a little more aggressive going forward for the ball there when that ball was played back to her. She kept backpedaling and then all of a sudden realized if she took any more steps backward, she was going to be under some pretty significant pressure. So she adjusted in time, but had she gone up and met the ball a little earlier, she would have had more time to find a teammate to pass the ball.
Those are the kinds of lessons that and timing issues that you can work out when you're ahead 4-0. The game against presumably the Rosemount Irish next Tuesday it should be excellent soccer. So ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't caught any games this year on ETV, or if you've been a casual fan, tune in for that one, as the Wildcats and the Irish, assuming the Irish hold on to beat the Eastview Lightning, that should be an excellent soccer game. Two great teams, two intense teams. Ball finds its way back to Severson. Severson dispossessed. This is a little bit of what we saw in this at the end of the first half. Skip Newton, the Wildcats a little bit out of sorts. Not quite connecting the passes the way they were in the first part of the second half.
Yeah, there's an adjustment period when you go to your bench. You bring in a lot of players off the bench. It takes them, a little bit to get into the flow of the game. They've been sitting for a while. They're cold. So they got to get warmed up and get into the flow. And it might take them a couple minutes to figure things out.
Westerman plays that back for Turner. Turner's long ball is out and wasn't a touch.
Eagan Soccer would like to thank more of our supporters from this season: Ansari's Mediterranean Grill and Lounge, Birchwood Dental, Coldwell Banker, Rami Quarmont, Devani's, Divine Salon, Dunn Brothers, Eagan Arms Public House, Eagan Family Dentistry, Escape With Us Vacations, Homestead Auto and Tire, Mark's Towing, Raising Cane's, Teresa's Mexican Restaurant, Wildcats Bar and Grill, Zerbal Orthodontics, and ZZQ Smokehouse. Thank you once again for your support all season long. We appreciate it more than you know, and we are successful thanks to you.
Circle box ball into Bumpers. Was trying to one-touch out to Tanner. Didn't quite work. Horn will go to the outside and concede. Now, interestingly enough, as I was talking about a potential date with the Irish next Tuesday, we have a scoring update from Apple Valley, and the Eastview Lightning have cut the lead to 3-2 with 23 minutes to go here in the second half. So maybe I spoke too soon, Skip Newton.
Could be the curse of the dreaded 2-goal lead, the most dangerous lead, they say, in hockey. Not sure if that holds true in soccer, but when the team that is down 2 goals scores, they get a big boost in momentum. Who knows? Maybe things can get interesting there. They got plenty of time with 20 plus minutes left to try and tie that game, and then anything can happen.
Severson finds herself in the middle of the park. Interestingly enough, she's still in the middle of the park, and now she's retreating to her outside back position as Rozier sends that forward for one of her teammates on the outside. That's Espinoza. Turner takes that, sends that forward. She's looking again for Tanner. Cassie Turner's aspirations were just a little too aspirational. Horn backing up on it now. She steps into it, puts a left foot on, and it finds Bumpers. Bumpers lays off for Jensen, caught flat-footed.
Another example of a coaching moment there, where Q can say, don't back up so much on those balls. You got to step forward and meet the ball. Something that a player can definitely get in the habit of, but it's an easy habit to break once you're coached to do something other to make a different decision. I'm a little surprised. I'm sure she'll hear about it from Coach Dad after the game.
Ball finds its way down into the Wildcat end, and Zirkelbach wisely makes sure that goes out over the end line. So we will continue to monitor the score from Apple Valley, give you updates here. Of course, the Wildcats will host on Tuesday. Not sure about the game time. We don't know for sure what that game time will be. Imagine it might be, well, it's usually in one of the early game slots like this one, a 4:35, 5 o'clock start, or a late start, like a 7 o'clock start. And that has to do with referee availability and scheduling of other types of scheduling issues.
This game is getting to the point where I think both teams would rather just see it end as quickly as possible. The rain is really starting to come down quite a bit harder now than it was in the first half and early parts of the second half.
Strong wind still coming from the far side of the field towards our cameras. And before we had a handful of umbrellas, now we have 36 umbrellas out there. As you say, Skip, it's getting a little bit fun out there. It's beret battles. Just by Tanner, can't. Bumpers with the right foot. Finds its way through. Here's an opportunity for Jensen, but Moran quickly off of her line. Moran way out of her net. She's outside the penalty area still. Can the Wildcats go quickly? If they go quickly, they could catch Moran out. Moran now retreats, and Jensen takes on a couple of defenders. Now Westerman Finds Bumpers. Bumpers lays that off for Waldrop. Wildcats certainly not pushing the issue, but at the same time, Skip would want to be crisp. Zirkelbach sends that in. Oh, this is a beautiful ball. Oh, Bumpers must have judged that it had gotten over her, but from our perspective, it looked like that was a great cross by Zirkelbach.
Yeah, it was a fantastic cross. That definitely could have resulted in a shot on goal. Eagan doing a nice job of connecting passes here. The more possession they have, the more time that ticks off the clock as we're down to the final 7.
Is whipping a little bit as well. It is October in Minnesota, so next week, next Tuesday, it could be 75 degrees and bright sunshine and hot, and you just don't know.
Or we could get a foot of snow.
Or we could get a foot of snow. It has been known to happen, as you pointed out earlier, Skip. In any event, the Wildcats look to have punched their ticket to the section finals against an opponent to be determined. Bray dispossessed. The Apple Valley Eagles, after a solid campaign this year, look to have their season ended here at Wildcat Stadium. Set forward by Severson. Bumpers, and I think Bumpers is using something that was not approved by IFAB.
Yeah, I think that ball took a pretty aggressive skip off the turf, and she wasn't quite in the right position, so it caught her in the arm. Easy handball call.
Turner out to the outside. Turner battling against Vonderhaar. Now she sends it back in. Severson well up the field. And another foul against the Wildcats. That's 2 relatively quick fouls against the Wildcats. A handball, and now a foul from about 40 yards out. So the Wildcats will square up to this.
The Wildcats, free kick for the Eagles.
43 yards out. And now here's another opportunity for the Eagles to get on the scoreboard, which they would love to do in their almost certainly their last game of the season.
It's amazing to me they have 4 girls back on the defensive line, and that does not include the girl taking the free kick. I'm a little puzzled there. You're down 4 goals. I would have expected every girl to be up there. There's no reason to have anybody back. You give up a 5th goal, it's not going to matter, but you have to score.
Collision there between a couple of players. The clock was not stopped. Wildcats enjoy the free kick, and Valaga puts her foot to it. It's been a solid game for Natalie Valaga. We haven't talked about her too much because she hasn't had too many balls to have to deal with, as that ball almost squirts through to Tanner, who'd made a run. Jensen, Bumpers, and that ball finds Westerman, who found the offside line, or should I say the wrong side of the offside line.
Indirect free kick for Apple Valley.
Natalie Valaga, the senior goalie, has done good service for this program. In the last handful of games, she hasn't had too much. I imagine she will have a substantial amount of work, regardless of who the opponent is next Tuesday. And showing some high soccer IQ, just waiting for the Apple Valley player to come chase her down. I like to see that, especially in a 4-0 game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, the only difference in that play is I'd like to see an Eagan defender there closer, just in case something weird should happen. You always want to defend and protect your goalkeeper.
Tanner sends that forward with her head. Now it's going to be off of Tanner out. Additional substitutions for the Eagles.
Katie Sanchez Segura, number 7. Emma Schwartz, number 14.
Seniors.
And Tenby Michael.
Number of seniors getting back on the field. Will likely be their last hurrah in the Eagles uniform. disjointed here on the near sideline, but now ball finds its way back to Horn. Horn sends that in a touch. Wildcats want to maintain that clean sheet. Defense by Bray forcing it, and the Wildcats I think it's fair to say, can look forward to that game next Tuesday. Again, check the internet, check Twitter, check social media for the game times. We don't know precisely what they are. The Minnesota State High School League has a schedule, but it's not clear whether that will be followed or not, given the number of venues and games and teams involved. I'm not sure if there'll be a late game or an early game, but in any event, there will be a game here from Wildcat Stadium here on ETV next Tuesday. And we would love to have you. And frankly, it should be an interesting ending. The section final will be an interesting ending no matter what happens to it. And if the Wildcats are successful in that game, they will of course be going to the Minnesota State High School League AAA state tournament. Wildcats set 2 goals earlier in the season before the season. The first was to win the conference, the South Suburban Conference. They did. A nice 1-2 there between Westerman and Bumpers. Bumpers to the outside. She's going to be able to get to the end of that. She won't. Unlucky for Courtney Bumpers. Set 2 goals. Number 1 was winning the South Suburban Conference. Number 2 was to win the section, and it's right there for them.
They put the season together to set it up. They set themselves up as the 1 seed with the top marks here in the section. They won the conference, as you indicated, and now they've set themselves up to get to the state tournament. But they need to go into that Tuesday game playing sharp, playing their best soccer.
.35 seconds left in the Eagles season. The Wildcats will enjoy this one for at least 24 hours before they get back to work. They'll have a whole weekend to rest, recover, and practice. Maybe do a little film work. Rest a few of those niggling injuries that can sometimes be a bit of a problem. Next Tuesday, we will see you here at Wildcat Stadium for the Section 3-3A final between the Eagan Wildcats and whomever comes out of Apple Valley with the win.
And just a dominating performance here by the Wildcats. They really took control of this game early and maintained it throughout the game. I mean, scoring in the 11th minute, C. Hafer putting that one in, assist to Leitenberg, getting another one with just 8 minutes left in the first half off a corner kick. And then in the 41st minute, so the first minute of half number 2, getting goal number 3. And that's really where I think it was pretty much all but over.
Yeah, the air really kind of came out of the tires there, I think, for the Eagles in that situation. And, you see the Eagles, they're congratulating each other, and they're, on the field congratulating each other. The seniors, for them, this is it. This is the end of their high school careers. Wildcats still have at least one more game to go. It's always a challenge, but Eagles played hard today, just not enough for these Wildcats. Wildcats bring a lot of skill and seem to be well coached, well skilled, fast. And if they can put that together next Tuesday, they have an excellent chance to go to the state tournament.
That is the goal. It's been the goal from day one, and now they have that opportunity to do that. They've got, like you said, a few days to review film and practice and get ready, but they got to bring their A game, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited that we're going to be here next Tuesday. Really looking forward to broadcasting that game and hopefully watching them earn a position in the state tournament.
Well, for my broadcast partner, Skip Newton, for an award-winning ETV crew, my name is Nathan Cron. Thank you for joining us here on ETV. Final score of this Section 3-3A semifinal game, the Apple Valley Eagles 0, Eagan Wildcats 4. A 4-0 victory for the Wildcats, and we'll see you next Tuesday here on ETV. Good night, everybody.
Please use caution as you move about the stands. The metal bleachers are very slippery when wet, and we want you to be safe here at Wildcat Stadium. Please use caution.
That's my cue to fall down.